Evening, everyone. It's about 5:55, and this is your closing comment video. It's video number 443, and if you like the work, hit that subscribe button. Okay, we had a really good, solid day today across the markets. The Dow was up 410 or 1.5%. The Nasdaq just under 204, 1.7. The S&P up 1.6% at 53.14. The Russell had a really good day. It was the biggest gainer, up 35.43 or 2.4%. And the transports closed up 170.75 or 1.5%. At the highs, the Dow was up about 550 and sold off coming into the close, but not so with the Nasdaq and the S&P both closing a hair under the highs. What I find to be more impressive about this is the chart on the screen, and that's the S&P. And as you can see, we closed above all of last week's action, which kind of negates that. And we bounced solidly off the 100-day MA Thursday, Friday, and then today we're right back. We actually closed above the 50-day, just under the 20-day, and we went right through the 5-day this morning. So that's pretty impressive. The internals were strong, 5-1 up on the NYSE and 3-1 up on NASDAQ. Volume was a little bit light, but it's a holiday, a Jewish holiday, Yom Kippur today, and there were people who just weren't there. But as I said, both the NASDAQ and the S&P both closed on the highs, which is, as I said, impressive. In the stocks that we talked about this morning, pre-open, excuse me, Piedmont Lithium rallied. It's unbelievable. They got a 5-year contract with Tesla to supply spodumene, spodumene, which is one of the components in the lithium batteries. The stock had closed at $11, traded as high as 54.5 today, and that was not pre-market. Pre-market, it had only been up to about 46, and it closed at 37, up 26 or 236%. What's really interesting about this one is, unlike the Eastman Kodak deal a couple of weeks ago, nobody leaked this deal. In fact, the stock had not even traded since last Thursday, had 4 days, 5 days of no trading at all, unchanged, $11. So, at least we know there are still some honest people around. There was a merger of equals that I guess the street liked, and that was Devon Energy, DVN, and WPX Energy. They're both more in the natural gas space. Devon has closed up 98 cents at 9.80, so up 11%, and WPX closed at 5.17, up 73 cents or 16.4. So they're calling it a merger of equals. They haven't really made mention of what the surviving name is going to be or what shareholders get, but an interesting deal. Also, on the deal side, Cleveland Cliffs, CLF, is buying MT, ArcelorMittal, and they are a steel maker. Cleveland Cliffs is, in general, a materials company. Cleveland Cliff and ArcelorMittal both closed up, just like the last deal, Cleveland Cliffs, $6.56, up 68 or 11.5%. ArcelorMittal, 13.37, up $1.28 or 10.6%. But it wasn't all good news. We had Eiger and Inovio both running into problems with their trials. Inovio, I mentioned this morning, was trading down around 11 and a half. It actually rallied a little from there, closed 12.14, still down 28% or $4.80. And Eiger, not quite as bad, $7.96, down $1.93 or 19%. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the futures that we trade the ETFs against. I'm going to show you one that we are actually in, and that's the silver. We bought the silver 3 times leveraged ETF, and in fact, we bought the call options on it on Thursday. And we bought it pretty close to this moving average, the 100-day moving average. And it bounced pretty hard, and I was satisfied at the end of the day Thursday. We paid $1.30. We sold half on the 100% up rule at $2.70 and held the balance. It was a little soft on Friday, and the options were down a little, but as you can see, it made a higher low and a slightly lower high. So that's an inside day, and inside days are usually inconclusive. But today it opened, or actually last night opened, and had a little bit of weakness, but by this morning's open, it was trading in this 2305, 2310 area, and it went right through that, actually went through the 5-day moving average also, and closed up 51 cents. And for us, that was the last options that we have. The second half of the trade traded, I think, 290 today and closed around 280. The gold was up 16, also closed right near the high. And our favorite, the US dollar, ran into some resistance here, as we thought that it would. Opened lower, stayed lower all day, closed down on the day near the low. That does not necessarily turn this around. As I've said before, I think it looks like somewhere between 95 and 95 and a half, 96, and a little bit of consolidation after the week that it had last week, going from 92.75 all the way up to 94.75. I know that people don't really, they've been desensitized by percentage gains. I will tell you that a 2% gain or loss in the US dollar is a massive move for a week. Most of the time you see we're up and down a little bit here, a little bit there. But the bottom line is, I still expect this to hold above, let's call it 93.85, and continue to try higher. All right, everyone, that's it for me. I'll be back first thing in the morning with your pre-open, and have a good evening. And don't forget to subscribe.